Hey everyone, so it's Apprentice Fletcher. I am back again. And I haven't been doing too many videos because the energy has been a little wonky. And I also haven't been super motivated. There hasn't been anything that's really grabbed my attention until now. I do feel very compelled to talk about the subject I'm going to talk about today. And that is the kind of 5 ways that I use astrology in my life. And it's also kind of a recommendation to others, the 5 ways that you can use astrology in your life, the 5 ways that is beneficial to anybody. So the first way is self-discovery, learning your self-identity. It's been a lot of fun to me to work on my natal chart and kind of look back at my childhood and be like, that's why I did that. One big example for me is my Leo moon. One of the big things with the Leo moon is the person wants to be in the center of attention. Very specifically with the Leo moon, those of us with Leo moons want to be praised. We want people to tell us how wonderful we are, how beautiful we are, how good we are at what we do. And it's kind of makes sense to me. When I was in school, I always did better under my teachers that praised my work. If I was used as an example to the class of what to do, I worked even harder. I had a couple teachers use me as examples of, oh, here's where you can learn. Like, I would give up. I would stop. And it just makes more sense now. I'm learning a lot about my strengths and my weaknesses as a person because of that. I know about myself now that if I'm in a situation where I'm getting praised, I'm going to work harder. However, this is life. Not everyone's going to praise you. Not everyone's going to tell me I'm the greatest. Not everybody's going to tell me I'm the most beautiful. There's going to be situations where I'm not going to be the best, and I'm going to be told I'm not the best. And so since I've been working on astrology and since I'm learning this about myself, next time I enter a situation where I'm not the best, instead of getting discouraged, I can just remember what it would feel like if I was getting praised, and I would give that level of commitment. So I tell myself, not quite sure how I actually do, but learning your strengths and weaknesses is very, very beneficial. So that's the first way I use astrology. The second way is learning astrology has allowed me to be a lot more open and understanding of other people. Not everyone has the same chart as you. They're going to have very different charts. They're going to have water signs where you have fire signs, and that's going to make them completely different. They're going to react to a situation differently than you because everyone's astrology is different. 2 people born on the same day can have a completely different chart. So it's helped me become so much more understanding, especially at my work. There's so many different personalities at work. And just knowing that they have different signs than me, they have a different natal chart than me. When they start talking about something I don't agree with, or when they react a certain way to a situation, it used to be I would react. And it wouldn't always be a good reaction. Since learning astrology, because I am still pretty new to astrology, but since learning, I understand, oh, that girl over there that I have that issue with could easily very well be because of her chart. So next time she decides to try to throw me under the bus or tries to get a reaction out of me, I'm just going to take a deep breath and continue about my day. Work has actually been really easy since I learned this technique of just, I tell myself, their chart's different than mine, and I keep going. So that has been so beneficial for me in learning astrology. The third thing I use astrology for is when I go to work with or start a partnership. This could be romantic, I really should have done this with my last roommate. Kind of curious as to what her chart looks like. And like business partners. I'm always gonna, if I'm gonna kind of get serious with someone, I'm gonna want to know what their chart looks like, because I want to have an idea of what I'm getting into. I have not done it in the past where let me phrase this better. I'm never going to tell someone completely no just based off of their chart. I'm never going to tell a guy that I'm going to stop dating him just because of his chart. In fact, the last guy I was with really should have walked away with him because of his chart. It was not good. But I gave him a chance. Lasted all of like 2 days. And then I wasn't surprised when things went bad. I just said, okay, move on. Dodged the bullet with that one. His chart was bad. And it makes things a little bit easier. And it doesn't, like, to understand someone's chart that in depth, it allows you to not be too surprised when they do certain things. So, starting partnerships, I always want to look at their chart. I always want to have an understanding of kind of, if they react a certain way, I want to know why. And then, if there are bad things in the chart, it makes it so much easier to move on from them. It really does. So, the fourth thing that I like to use astrology for is preparing for the future. So, this is not predicting the future. Astrology, I don't use astrology to predict the future, and I don't think anyone should, because you can't predict the future the way that people think you can predict the future. Yes, you can have a good understanding of the energy or how things are going, or what might happen, but I love using cards to look at what's going to happen. And most of the time the cards are right. But there are times where people change their mind or try to do something different or make decisions that they hadn't before. So the future can change. Everyone has free will. And so you can't predict the future. And I think a lot of astrology is learning the energy behind something. So being prepared and knowing what the energy is coming up is so beneficial, because if the energy is not good, you can be much more calm in the situation. For example, the energy right now in the full moon that's coming up this weekend is very reactive. It's very kind of emotional. A lot of people are going through a lot of hard emotions right now. But because I know that this weekend's going to probably be emotional, it's probably going to be reactive, I'm going to be with an Aries and a person who has a Pisces moon and an Aries rising. They're probably going to be very reactive this weekend. But I know. So it's all going to be about me staying calm. I know that they're going to be reactive and I can't react back, because that's just going to make the situation worse. And that way I'm going to be prepared. When something goes wrong this weekend, I'm just going to be like, yeah, full moon. Just gonna not worry about it. And since I've been learning about astrology, I've had multiple situations where I'm able to be prepared and just not worry about it as much. And actually that's kind of the reason I got into astrology in the first place. Last year, actually around this time, was when I was first introduced to it. And I didn't know anything about it. I couldn't told you freaking what Mercury versus Mars meant. I just, whatever, I just knew I had Capricorn sun. That was it. But I had my friend kind of telling me and warning me and preparing me for the energy. Oh, things are going to be really rough coming up. And they were. And just knowing that I could be prepared kind of drew me in. And it really has made a world of difference. It's been so beneficial for me. So that's kind of the fourth thing. And the fifth thing that I use astrology for is for fun. I like going back and kind of looking at what the energy or what the astrology was like in my past when I had no idea about astrology, and looking what the astrology was back when these events happened to me, or kind of talking about like, well, the astrology right now is very similar to the astrology back then, and then looking at what my life was back then. So I love doing stuff like that. I love figuring out or looking at the astrology and kind of making guesses as to how it's going to play out, and then looking at how it actually plays out. Because no matter, like, kind of doing the predictive type thing with astrology, and then just seeing how close you are. So that's a lot of fun. And it's fun. It's not supposed to be overly serious. And I keep trying to tell people that, but a lot of people have impressions of astrology and kind of this whole new age world. And right now I have to learn I can't change their minds. I can just have fun with it. And if they want to be open to it, then let them know I'm there for them. So, short video today, but I really am having fun with astrology, and I want to continue to share that with you guys. So, Apprentice Fletcher, peace out.